4 games of interleague action between these two teams, the Astros and Rockies, splitting back in mid-July. That was at Coors Field, and tonight they start a 2-game series here. We want to welcome in Preston Wilson, who will be working next couple of days on the sideline. And Preston, let's talk about the standings right now as far as the Astros are concerned. It's our Houston Methodist League leaders, and just what a difference a year makes in where this team was a year ago.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference. Last year we were kind of in cruise control. They were in a situation where they could afford to kind of, do things at their own rate. They had a big cushion, didn't have to worry about anybody nipping on the heels with that 12-game lead. And now you look at this year, and it's a 2-game lead, and instead of Anaheim, it is Oakland that is nipping on the heels of these teams. And right now, there's a lot of injuries that they had to deal with, that they had to overcome. And I like to think about the old adage of being strong up the middle. And right now, they've had to go without Springer for an amount of time. They had to go without Altuve for a while. They had to go without Correa and Brian McCann. So when you talk about a team who's built that foundation of being strong up the middle, they've had to overcome a lot to maintain the 2-game lead that they have right now.
And the Oakland A's just didn't feel like they're ever going to lose a series again.
Oh, they're a good team. I tell you what, I was very impressed with the way those guys swung the bats when they came here. They're a young, aggressive team. They hit the fastball, and they really look like they have that fearless factor that all good young teams need to overcome things.
Do you sense any panic in those guys down there in that dugout?
Oh, no. I think they know what they can do. They've been there before. It's just a matter of getting it right.
All right, Preston Wilson will be with us tonight and tomorrow night, working the sideline. Julia Morales with a couple of days off. It'll be Justin Verlander going to the hill tonight for the Astros, looking for career win number 200.
He should be able to pick it up. And if he does, he will be the 114th pitcher to go out there and earn the 200th victory. I know that the last outing was not very good for Justin, going out there and giving up 6 earned runs in 2 innings. You saw that ERA jump 31 points. Still amongst the top 10 as far as ERA is concerned, and he is also in the top 5 as far as strikeouts are concerned. We'd like to get a little bit deeper in this ball game today against the Colorado Rockies and up that strikeout count.
Yeah, those 2 innings before being ejected, it was not a good start. His worst start as an Astro. In fact, he'd only had 1 start when you look back at his career in which he had gone a shorter outing. That was an inning and a 2/3, and I think that was 2008, in which he was in a game in which that situation happened. Lineup today for the Colorado Rockies, who come in here after winning 3 out of 4 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Will be Charlie Blackmon. DJ LeMahieu is in the 2-hole, followed by Carlos Gonzalez. Nolan Arenado will be designating hitter in this game tonight. He has been out the last couple of days, at least as far as the start is concerned, at third base. Trevor Story, the native Texans, Gerardo Ferrara, Ryan McMahon, Pat Valenca, and Tony Walters is the catcher, and he bats ninth. Defensively for the Astros tonight, Tony Kemp, the man in center field. It'll be Kyle Tucker in left, Josh Reddick in right, Correa and Marwin in the middle infield, Bregman and Yuli on the corners, and Martin Maldonado behind the plate catching Justin Verlander, making the start tonight, his 4th career start against the Colorado Rockies. One of the top leadoff men in all of baseball will step in to get this one going. That's Charlie Blackmon. You want your leadoff man to get on, get around, and get in. No one has scored more runs in the National League than Charlie Blackmon. And we are underway.
Blackman's really a guy, much like George Springer, who's an immediate threat out of that leadoff spot. 22 home runs on the season for Charlie.
Fielding Colbreth is calling the balls and strikes today. Bregman in on the grass at third base, and that would miss his high and away. It's 1-1.
Shift being employed early.
3 on the right side. It's Correa right there in the middle. Marwin playing second base today, and Yuli at first. Misses upstairs. It's 2-1. Now, Charlie Blackmon hit the walk-off home run against the Astros in Colorado in the 2nd of that 2-game series. Two and two at 95.
Good fastball in the outside corner, and that's where you can beat Charlie Blackmon. Middle in, he is very good, likes to turn and hook those baseballs down the right field line or over the wall in right field, but a good fastball away from Justin.
Swing and a miss, one away.
It's a good start.
It's a great start, especially considering what happened last time out. And look where Verlander lived.
Got a pretty good idea of what he wants to do, right?
Exactly. and he spent a lot of time, wouldn't you agree, over the middle of the plate against Seattle on Thursday night?
Yeah, a lot of mistakes out over the plate, and you got to give credit to the Seattle Mariners. We've seen Justin get away with stuff over the plate against other teams, but they were very aggressive early on and hit some mistakes. They hit the first 4 guys hit in the reverse cycle against him, which was amazing to me. Home run, triple, double, single, all in a row.
Yeah, before you could really get comfortable in your seats, it was a 3-0 ball game, and it got worse from there. DJ LeMahieu, who was on the disabled list when these two teams got together in mid-July, in there for a strike, 1-1. A lighter crowd tonight than it was over the weekend. Great crowds this weekend. Unfortunately for the Astro fans, they have yet to see a win on this homestand. Mariners came in here and swept a 4-game set. 5-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Oh, look at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A little attention getter there.
I'm okay with it. It sounds terrible, and as a hitter, I'd be a little concerned if I had a baseball coming that close to my head at around 95 miles an hour. But understanding what happened to Justin last time out, maybe there's a little more of a concerted effort to try and establish that inside corner and say, I'm not going to let you own my plate. I'm going to get it back. But you answered pretty quick.
Pull it right back up the middle. 1-out single in the first.
Pretty much center cut with that fastball. Mayhew is a very good hitter, just rakes it back up the middle.
He has been struggling since coming off the disabled list. As I said, he had an oblique injury. Didn't play against the Astros when they were out in Denver. That's got to be a great feeling as a hitter. Take one high and in like that, and the next pitch at a laser beam right back through the box. Carlos Gonzalez, the batter. Carlos playing right field, hitting in the 3-hole. He had the day off on Sunday. Rockies lost the opener of the 4-game series to the Dodgers and then stormed back with 3 straight wins, including walk-off wins on Saturday and Sunday. Had an off day yesterday. That was Rockies' first off day after playing 17 straight days.
Not a bad pitch.
Not at all. Verlander thought it was a really good pitch.
See what MD Anderson strike zone has to say about it. Martin Maldonado did not move that glove all that much. Pretty much caught it right in front of his face mask.
Keeping LeMahieu close.
StatCast AI, powered by AWS, shows you why the shift is employed. Up and away is a good place to beat Carlos Gonzalez, but the last 100 baseballs he's put in play have been up the middle or to that pull side.
Played him that way. Beat him upstairs. It's 1-2. Carlos Gonzalez has been as hot as anybody, hitting 288 for the season. This guy comes in on a roll. 331 is his batting average since July 1st. Two balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Rockies, a team that right there with the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks as far as the National League West is concerned. They've been playing tough teams, and they've been playing very well.
National League West is bunched up too.
Flip a coin.
Man, Arizona, Colorado, LA. It's going to be interesting to see how the National League West, the Dodgers respond losing Kenley Jansen. That heart issue is able to be taken care of and get him back in the mix, because they blew those 2 games and allowed the Rockies to get past him. Even the Giants are still in the conversation.
Yeah.
This much of the season left and only 5 games back.
And those were gut-wrenching losses, you know, for the Giants out in San Francisco when the Astros got 2 late home runs. Strike 3 called. 2 outs, 2 punch-outs for Justin Verlander.
Bringing a little bit of the filth with that breaking ball. A little bit of a slider at 86. Locked up Carlos Gonzalez. Good look at the rotation on the Mattress Firm Supermo.
Helpless feeling as a hitter?
Yeah, you might be looking for something else, or you might even be looking for that pitch, but it's not coming in the trajectory you want. And it just literally locks you up. The brain and the hands don't react together. Can't pull the trigger. All you hope for is the umpire misses it too.
Well, Nolan Arenado left Thursday's game in the 5th inning. He was throwing to second base on a double play ball and missed the next couple of days with a strained shoulder. Now, he did have a pinch hit appearance. I thought it was interesting that when a guy's got the shoulder tightness, whatever the case may be, that you still swing the bat. But had a couple of pinch hit appearances out against the Dodgers at Coors Field.
I was reading about that, and I mean, for Nolan Arenado not to be in the lineup, something's got to be relatively bad. But throwing all the way from third base with a bad shoulder is not fun. But he said that the more he maybe babied it a little bit, it hurt more. But if he just let it go, it actually felt a little bit better. So,
well, check swing bouncer. Yuli Gurriel will step on the bag, and that'll retire the side. Kemp, the center fielder, leads it off, followed by Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa. Middle third is Marwin, Yuli Gurriel, and Josh Reddick, who is in right field, batting 6th. Evan Gattis, they'd love to see his bat get going. The designated hitter. Kyle Tucker starts in left field, and Martin Maldonado is the catcher, batting 9th. And that is the lineup that will face German Marquez, 23-year-old Venezuelan who gets the ball for the Rockies.
He's a hard-throwing right-hander, averaging 95 miles an hour on that fastball. The curveball since the All-Star break has been exceptional for him. 139 strikeouts, gives him 9.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's also a relatively high ground ball guy, almost to 50% of the time getting a ground ball out.
He's a strike thrower. Let's see if the Astros might be aggressive early in the count. Just as I say that, Tony Kemp takes ball 1. It's 1-1. Tony Kemp, the average now, I say, down to 288. It's been a rough homestand for him, but he hits this one up the middle. Trevor Story, a tough hop, a tricky hop, and he's able to throw out Tony Kemp at first base. Sure fielding Trevor Story.
Yeah, if that baseball doesn't hit the mound and create that big hop, it might have a chance to get up the middle, but they were playing Tony a little bit to that shift side. But that mound took a little bit of the velocity off it. Had a little bit tougher hop.
That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Bregman at 280 with the 22 homers and 73 driven in. Leads this club in home runs and RBIs. Take strike 1. Get the feeling sometimes when you watch Alex that, especially here since the injuries to the other players, that maybe that's gotten him out of his game just a little bit, trying to do a little too much, taking a lot of responsibility on his own shoulders. Do you get that feeling?
It's definitely a possibility, but I also think it's something that Alex Bregman actually welcomes. But I do feel that along with putting pressure on himself to maybe try and do a little too much, I think that a lot of opposing pitchers, when they're going through their scouting reports, they're going to look at a couple of guys in that lineup. And recently, Alex has been the guy that you do not want to have hurt your team. So they're going to pitch him a little bit differently. And we've seen him expand a couple of times, getting in some strikeout situations with runners on.
Yeah, guys, it's a bigger difference too when you get that recognition. You're in the home run derby, you make the all-star team. Teams are starting to pay attention when they don't have to deal with a Correa some nights or an Altuve. Then you become that guy, like you said, Bum. When they come into town and say, we can't let this guy beat us. And right now, that seems to be Brad.
And he's also a younger guy, too. He hasn't been in this situation, so it's a little bit of a learning curve for him also.
Takes ball 4. One out base runner here in the first inning for the Astros. That is Twitter Tuesday. Our Twitter question today: are you in favor of the National League adding the designated hitter, and why? You can tweet us at ATT Sportsnet SW. What do you think? I was never a fan. I was always a fan of National League Baseball.
We've had this conversation, and I think that we're both in the same boat.
Yeah, exactly. And glad I learned the game from the National League side.
And it doesn't take anything away from not appreciating the strategy that's in the National League. But I like watching the extra hitter in the lineup.
I got that feeling when we were in Denver. You and I did the games together in Denver, and it was, the situations where you get something rolling and it's the pitcher spot that comes up, and it's early in the game. You're not going to pinch hit for him. Got to figure out plan B.
Well, it was really interesting for us going through San Francisco and LA too. And everybody assumes that the pitchers are good bunters. They are not. We saw a couple of situations where it was a guaranteed bunt situation with runners on, and they were unable to come up with it. And it would be 2 outs, and the leadoff man would be put on the spot in the tough spot with 2 outs.
And from high school to professional baseball, the National League is the only league in which pitchers hit.
Yep.
Carlos Correa going to do some work with a man on. Able to hold up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, maybe a little biased too, because Evan Gattis is RDH, and he's entertaining to watch. You don't know what's going to happen when he digs in, but you know it's going to be some kind of malevolence.
Good or bad, it will be memorable.
Yes.
A ball and 2 strikes. Now, Marquez has never faced the Astros before. In fact, not anyone in the lineup that has ever faced him. He's only 23 years old. Correa went 1 for 5 with an RBI single on Sunday against Seattle. The losses to the Mariners, maybe that was the toughest one to take, is when you get that lead late and then give up a run in the 9th inning. Seattle ties it and then wins it in the 10th. What a new day, a new series, and the Astros going to work. Here's Bregman going on the pitch. It's fouled back.
Yeah, because you really felt when the Astros took that lead against Seattle, might have given them a little breath, get that pulse back in that series, just give them a little life. But Ryan Healy with a 2-out home run off Rondon squashed that idea. It's pretty amazing to watch Edwin Diaz, a closer for the Seattle Mariners, come out 4 days in a row and pick up a save.
Showed you the importance of those games to the Mariners too.
Absolutely.
Struck him out. 2 outs.
I love the question on the Twitter Tuesday that we've got going on, because it sparks such a crazy debate. You can argue both sides. I love it.
It's rarely a gray area. Usually it's one of those that brings out a passionate response one way or the other.
Yes. I'm seeing a lot of exclamation points in my Twitter feed right now, and I like it.
A lot of all caps.
Yeah.
Here's Marwin, and Marwin is really the only one to speak of that has put together a good homestand. Take strike 1. He was 6 for 16. He had 375 against the Seattle Mariners.
And that's a good sign for the Astros. Really the only time this season we've seen Marwin start to get going with the run production. But when you get Springer back, when you get Altuve back, Marwin makes your lineup that much deeper.
You saw the graphic there hitting 359 here in the month of August, and that's been a month of August that's been without Altuve, for the most part without Correa. Don't forget about Marisnick. Brian McCann, of course, has been out for quite some time. Good news as far as the injury front is concerned, from the standpoint that Chris Davinsky will throw an inning tonight in Fresno. Brian McCann expected to join the AAA team in Tacoma over the weekend. Bregman into second base. And no swing. A win-win for the Astros on that one.
Really was. My initial thought is that Marwin went around a little bit.
Thought he did too. It's a wild pitch that gets Bregman into second.
Good read by Alex.
I wonder if the fact that he asked so late for the appeal had anything to do with not getting the swing.
I feel like it does sometimes. Statute of limitations.
Sorry, should have asked sooner. A ball and 2 strikes, a runner in scoring position. Stays alive. '59th career start for Marquez. Advantage one way or another, seeing a guy, knowing that you basically don't have anybody in that lineup that's ever seen a guy, or is it just?
I think it's changed a little bit this day and age with the amount of information and video that's out there. Just a matter of stepping in the box and picking up that release point. But you get such a good idea on tendencies. It's the timing of his delivery, out of the windup and out of the stretch. That can affect a hitter's swing and timing.
Swing and a miss. We go to the second, scoreless. The volunteer corps to take part in various volunteer opportunities, including game day activities at Minute Maid Park, craft parties at local hospitals, and more. For more information and to sign up, visit astros.com/volunteer. Lumber, do you realize a lot of these guys, these kids are seeing the last couple of games before they go back to school? For some, tonight is a school night.
It is a school night at our house. I will be up bright and early, cheerfully taking them to school. And I'll come right back and take a nap.
Better to take them to school than to take them away to school.
Yeah, good point. Biz was talking about that with his last.
I know. I'm right there. I'm right there with him, brother.
Oh, boy. Did you already take him up there?
Tomorrow.
Oh, boy. All right. You ready?
I'm doing the game. Well, I'm. That's.
I'll leave it at that.
Nope. Mom's taking him tomorrow. Trevor Story hits this one high in the air to center field. Tony Kemp a few steps in. One out in the second. Now she's taking him. I'm doing the game tomorrow night.
Yep.
And I will go there and
make the pilgrimage.
Help pick up the pieces and bring them back home. Gerardo Parra. Good series last time out against the Astros. Had a couple of big hits in that series. In that series, game 1, the Astros won that game in extra innings. Remember, they scored the 6 runs in the 10th inning. Next night, the Astros had a 2-0 lead going into the late innings in Denver. Rockies tied it, and then Charlie Blackmon hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. Split those two, and now the Astros trying to gain the upper hand. Astros 10-5 against the National League. Rockies are 11-5 against the American League. Verlander had an 18-pitch first inning. Gave up a hit, stranded a man, struck out a couple. Parr going to lay that one down. Bregman a long way to go and no chance. Second hit of the ninth for the Rockies. They have a one-out base runner in the second inning.
Alex moved back after that first strike. 2-1 count to Parr, and he laid it down. That was beautifully done. That is part of Parra's game. He can run a little bit. But as soon as he recognized that Alex had vacated and there's plenty of green grass in front of him, he took advantage of it.
Brings up Ryan McMahon. McMahon, a guy that's spent, this is his third stint with the big club this year. Been sent down a couple of times. He might stick after the weekend that he had. Hit a walk-off home run on Saturday. Send the fans home happy, and another home run on Sunday. Rockies won those two games in walk-off fashion. First time since 2014 that they had won back-to-back games like that. It's the second time this year. Yesterday, Chris Iannetta draws a bases-loaded walk to win it. Second time this season that they have had a bases-loaded walk to win a game.
Good old-fashioned walk-off walk.
Oh, 0-2. Carved him up pretty good, and that is the third strikeout of the night by Justin Verlander.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice. He was coming after him with that just big-time fastball. He saw, I think, him beat him with that second strike inside. He saw the late swing, a little bit of drag in that barrel, and maybe opted to go back to it and got that strikeout.
So the third baseman, Pat Valaika, limited action this season, only 55 games. He had his third straight start at third base with Nolan Arenado on the shelf. Parr's got 7 stolen bases. Also staying with that theme of who's getting back on the field. It appeared that George Springer, they are hoping that George Springer will be back to start the road trip. Astros have that road trip coming up where they travel to Oakland, Seattle, and then LA to take on the Angels.
And that's great news. Watching that slide in LA, I've seen plenty of guys go in head first. There's another guy out there, Mike Trout, who dove in head first in a similar situation, tore the ligaments in his thumb. You immediately assume that's what happened, but George bouncing back quickly because he didn't snap that ligament, which is great news.
I got here early today, and he was out in center field. They were hitting fungos to him. He was fielding ground balls in center field, coming up, throwing full speed to third base. He looked like he was good to go.
See him take BP?
Sure, I know. And
wow.
You said something about he just hit a bomb when he in the cage, and you hear the ding as he's hitting one of the signs. This was earlier. This was probably about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
And that thumb is in the glove. It's going to be a little bit of impact, getting used to it, but this is also just getting that baseball motion back and into shape. But the Biggest thing for me was watching him be able to explode on some baseballs and hit them deep out of here in batting practice. Speaking of explosions.
Yep. Wow. After falling behind 3-0, Pat Valleca looking at a 3-2 pitch here.
Justin doesn't fear too many guys when he's got that fastball.
Argo, swing and a miss, struck him out. Fourth strikeout of the game for Justin Verlander.
Favorite part of Legends weekend at Minute Maid Park was it the rainbow jerseys, the home run derby, which I know 2/3 of this broadcast would vote for, Beltron bobblehead, or Legends wandering around the stadium. It was a good weekend. Astros put on a good show. Make sure you go to @ATT Sportsnet SW and log your vote. We'll tell you the results later in the show.
If I vote, will that make it 3/3?
Yes.
Because
nice.
I was full on. I was very much a fan of the home run derby.
It went amazingly well.
It really did. It started about noon. We did the pregame show at 12:30. It basically reran the whole home run derby. But Steve Sparks was fantastic in it. You guys all, you weren't hitting 12 in a row, but man, it was fun, and people really enjoyed getting into it. I thought you guys did a great job. Preston, how are you feeling now?
Preston in the leadoff spot.
I know that.
Yeah, hey, that was kind of nerve-wracking, man. I hadn't had those butterflies in a while coming down that tunnel, and all of a sudden you see fans out there and there's no batting cage, and you got to step in there and just go from the rip. That was, yeah. I gotta say, I didn't have a whole lot of saliva. I was looking for a bottle of water as soon as I hit the field.
I was with you. That felt the same way.
Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws, when he looked at his mask, he said, "I ain't got no spit."
Yeah.
and you said you had a better chance of hitting a home run than being able to spit at that point. And Yuli Gurriel takes that one to the side. Now a leadoff base runner for the Astros here in the second inning. But I thought it was interesting to find guys who have played on the biggest stage, have produced on the biggest stage, and when they came out in that situation, they were nervous. Got him right on the elbow. I thought he got him in the ribs, but hopefully there was that pad.
Yeah.
So the Astros try to take advantage of an opportunity here. Josh Reddick takes strike one. Reddick trying to pick things up, hitting only .222 here in the month of August. A walk-in single Sunday against Seattle. There's just not much to talk about, not much to speak of at all as far as this Astros offense on this homestand. And Marwin at .375 against Seattle. That was really the only offense that the Astros could really get going. A.J. Hinch talked about that earlier. We just got to have some people step up until we get our guys back.
We really haven't seen that stretch of innings where A.J. always talks about, if I can get 2 or 3 guys to get on base, usually good things happen. And that's where the Seattle Mariners did a very good job, is kind of stunting those innings by not allowing them to get those second and third runners on.
And it was almost as if they were pressing when they got in situations like that, rather than just taking advantage of having a pitcher on the ropes. Remember, they had bases loaded, nobody out. They had second and third at one point, leadoff single, leadoff double in an inning, and didn't score in those situations. Yeah, if it could go wrong in that Seattle series, it did.
Some of those double plays again coming back to haunt the Astros too.
Gets Reddick. Third strikeout of the game for Marquez.
Cheer on the Astros as they wrap up the homestand tomorrow against the Rockies. Tickets start as low as $8 for tickets. And more information, visit Astros.com.
Now, 3 of the 4 outs that Marquez has recorded been via the strikeout. He tied a career high last time out. His last start, he struck out 10. This is another bat the Astros would love to get going. Evan mired in an 0 for 16 slump right now.
The off speed has been a real issue, namely the breaking ball. Hitting around 124 against the breaking balls. That's a power slider.
That's it. 87 miles an hour. Gets the swing and miss on that breaking ball, that's for sure. Well located too.
Extremely well.
Story. And they turn 2. Still scoreless.
For dealers, some of the pitch usage on Justin Verlander, primarily that fastball, slider, curveball, but ahead in the count, he'll use that fastball just over 50% of the time, which I think is very interesting. He has a lot of confidence in it, but he also has very good secondary pitches when he gets ahead to put guys away. What I like is in the even counts, he goes right after him almost 70% of the time with that fastball, and we saw it to get the punch out of Valleca to end the second inning when he got to that 3-2 count, which is basically an even count. He just said, I'm coming right at you with my fastball. Very aggressive, and when he's behind, uses it to get back into those counts too.
Tony Walters leads off the 3rd inning, a scoreless ball game. A couple of hits for the Colorado Rockies. Astros have had 2 base runners, both reaching on a walk. Walters playing in his 52nd game of the year. The 0-2. Just missed.
Good job by Walters laying off it.
Does it, as a hitter, sometimes you just think about what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, I figure I've got no shot, play it off like I just spit on it.
Yep. That one fouled back. Well, Verlander ejected out of his last start against the Seattle Mariners after the somewhat controversial balk call. He wasn't happy with the call and still continued to talk between innings. And I thought was interesting enough is, you know how he found out he was ejected?
Yeah.
He heard from Jeff Blum, Todd Callis. Pulled down the right side.
Just glad we're able to pass along information every now and then.
He said he came out and looked at AJ. He goes, "Did you get thrown out?" And AJ goes, "No, you did." He goes, "Well, the announcer said somebody got thrown out."
Still doesn't know my name.
I knew.
I'm just kidding.
He knew. 5th strikeout of the game through the first 9 for Verlander.
Seeing Justin Verlander fill up the strike zone, it is quite nice. But also that elevated fastball to create the chase. There you get a good view of the ability of that fastball to stay on plane for a long time because of the spin rate. That side angle shows you that it really doesn't give in to gravity when it's moving that quickly.
Charlie Blackmon led off this game. He was the first strikeout victim of the game for Justin Verlander. Takes swings at strike one.
Charlie Blackmon did something that's so unbelievable. He drove in 100 from the leadoff spot last year.
How about that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, in the National League where you got the pitcher. And you drive in 100, I think it was 104 out of the leadoff spot. That's impressive.
That's picking yourself up sometimes. 30-plus home runs.
Absolutely. The thing about the numbers, too, when you look at their home and road splits, it's not like it used to be. I mean, granted, it is still Coors Field. It's always going to be better to hit at Coors Field than not hit at Coors Field. Where was this pitch?
Perfectly located.
Yep. Didn't get a call. A ball and 2 strikes.
Now, I remember a year in the American League for the Angels, Darren Erstad, I think, drove in 100 and scored 100. You assume the 100 at a leadoff spot, especially with some of those early 2000 teams that Darren was on.
He had a sneaky good to great career.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, I think the thing that people forget about when Coors Field guys talking about that is not the home runs, it's the base hits.
Yep.
Because there's so much square footage in that outfield. Guys have so much room to cover. Left center's like 415. There's really big gaps, so it's not just the home runs anymore. It's that there's so much room that the outfielders have to cover, and there's a lot of base hits to be had.
That one hit on the ground. Easy play for Marlin, and there's 2 away.
I watched Preston get plenty of hits out there.
He knows. I saw that Preston Wilson picture outside the clubhouse.
Oh
yeah.
On a star. I sent you a picture of it, didn't I?
You did. It's always a good feeling, man. See a star up on the wall there, but I'd have bad feelings about playing center field there and trying to chase down those balls that you never can seem to get to.
A lot of room to run, that's for sure. 2 outs for DJ LeMahieu. But that's what I have so much respect for guys like Nolan Arenado. His numbers, and you look at his home run splits over the last few years, it's not 50-50, but it is. I think it was, what, 19 and 18 last year as far as his home and road splits on the home runs.
Well, that's what the humidor does. It took out some of the home runs. You don't get those dry, shriveled up marble-like baseballs that you used to get in the late 90s when they started there.
Like when you played?
Yeah. Now every now and then you'll see a pitcher pick up a ball in Coors Field, and he'll like the ball. You can tell he thinks the ball is heavy because they're kind of saturated from being in the humidor.
Well, and to your guys' points, Nolan Arenado, 16 home runs at home, 13 on the road, which is relatively nice. But the batting average, Preston's talking about getting a ton of base hits. He's hitting 354 at Coors Field, 259 on the road.
Yeah. I mean, you got to. It's part of the deal. You got to. There's going to be guys who have those outrageous splits.
Well, Arenado last year, wow, that is a breaking ball that LeMahieu was dialing 911 on this.
Yeah, you may have to go change parts of your uniform after seeing that.
I had that at bat in high school.
That's when you went into broadcasting?
That's tough.
Sorry to hear that.
Breaking ball in, and you think fastball away. He just missed. It's 3-1.
It wasn't a terrible pitch. It was a very smart pitch. Maldonado trying to help him out.
Third straight start that this has been the battery mate for Justin Verlander and Martin Maldonado. 3-2. Getting back to that point, Arenado, 2017, 19 homers at home, 18 on the road. This season, as you said, 16 at home, 13 on the road. That's balance.
That's great, yeah. And just a perennial run producer, too.
Three-two pitch, 2 outs, nobody on. Martin Maldonado thought that he missed it, meaning LeMahieu, but instead he did get a piece of it, so it's a foul ball.
Well, in defense of Martin Maldonado, really didn't get a call from Field and Culbreth until he went back to the backstop.
'51st pitch for Verlander. Just got a piece.
Believe it or not, that might have been the slider at 92. Turns into a little more of a power cutter when he throws it at that velocity, but normally pitching 95 plus. But that ball darting down and away at 92.
Did you see Maldonado?
He's going to block it.
I was wondering, it almost looked like a cross-up. You know you're good when you surprise your catcher.
And you know what? That actually happened a couple of times the first time that he worked with Maldonado, and actually it saw it a couple of times with Charlie Morton too, where he puts the fingers down and he anticipates where it's going to be, and it almost locks him up because it breaks more than he thought it would.
Popped up. Will it stay in play? Maldonado over. It will not. So now a 10-pitch at bat.
LeMahieu is a very good hitter. Fighting off some tough pitches. Some of the swings have been ugly, but effective.
And a 10-pitch at bat, no matter what he does, is if to say you can't lose the at bat. He did got something right. Hit into center field. Tony Kemp over and in and makes the play. That'll retire the side. Middle of the third. We're scoreless. Astros with 43 games left. The A's 44 left. And the Mariners, the hardest schedule coming up between these three teams with 43 games left. 25 of their 43 against teams over 500. The Astros would appear right there to have the best schedule, upcoming schedule, at least as far as their opponents coming up.
Yep, big road trip coming up too. They go through Oakland for 3. They have 6 more games against the Seattle Mariners. They have an opportunity to seek revenge against Seattle. Robinson Cano coming off that suspension for PEDs. Trevor Bauer going on the DL. Stress fracture in that right leg. Cleveland pretty much has the Central Division locked up. It's just a matter of getting him healthy. Well, what that does is saves innings on that arm too if he can come back.
It's not unlike what the Astros went through last year.
Yep. It actually benefited them as far into the playoffs as they went.
Kyle Tucker leading off here in the third. Takes strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Marquez now up to 37 pitches. 19 in the first, 15 in the second. Three on the right side. Story, LeMahieu, and Ryan McMahon. Inside, ball 4. Second walk of the game. 3 Astro base runners. 2 have reached via the walk. And Yuli Gurriel was hit by a pitch. Preston, what do you got?
Martin Maldonado has made a big impression on his new manager, A.J. Hinch. A.J. spoke at length today during the managers meeting about the work that he's put in to get to know this brand new pitching staff, to be able to get to know these guys, the work that you don't necessarily see on the field. And AJ cannot be happier with what he's done behind the plate. Just those hidden things like shortening secondary leads, keeping runners close, making sure guys don't drift off the base. And of course, that arm that he's got, that's going to shut down the running game as well.
That's huge. Not only shutting down the running game, Blummer, but secondary leads, whatever the case may be, a guy that may not necessarily get a jump to go first and third on a ball that he normally would have.
Well, it definitely is going first to third, but it is also keeping him from getting that big lead when they're at first base, and keeps that double play in order and a little more possible if the ball is not hit as hard. But anytime you can make that base runner think a little bit or hesitate, you're winning.
Even Tucker close. That was down there too. And Preston, we were talking with AJ, and his big compliment really of Maldonado is how much time he has spent in the video room since he's gotten here.
Yeah, I don't think people recognize or acknowledge how hard it is to catch guys that you've never seen before. The arm slots, the movement.
There's a ball up the middle, could be two. Step on the bag, throw over, and another double play. Second of the night turned by the Colorado Rockies. And there's two away.
No, I agree with Preston that it is kind of tough to move into a situation and catch guys, period. But then you move into a situation where you're catching Justin Verlander, Cy Young MVP, potential Cy Young this year. If you can get that ERA going in the right direction again, you're catching Garrett Cole, who all of a sudden has turned into a power strikeout guy. Charlie Morton is throwing 99-mile-an-hour bowling balls.
Velo guys.
Dallas Keuchel is a finesse guy that works on the edges and probably relies on a good target. So some good stuff for him to go in there and study up on.
Yeah, and every pitcher has their quirks of how they want you to set up, where they want their target, how they like to work guys, what they're looking for, what they want the catcher to look to see what the batter's doing. There's a big relationship that a lot of time is unseen between the pitcher and the catcher that goes into how they want to execute and how they want to go against these batters. And Martin has put in a lot of work to get on the same page with his pitching staff.
Well, the Astros looking to try to get something going offensively. You realize they've put 3 balls in play, 2 of which have been double play balls. This one in play, left side. Eduardo Parra is over, and that'll retire the side. Easy road trip to California as she interviews AJ Hinch about being back in Dodger Stadium. Shows off McCovey Cove also at AT&T Park. Plus, show you had some fun at the A's Legends costume. All that and more coming up on Astros Bases Loaded after the game, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
It's a big trip for Julia.
She gonna run the Legends race?
I think this is the trip. Yeah.
I think she should. The Dennis Eckersley head is kind of spooky.
It is.
That one fouled back by Carlos Gonzalez, leading off here in the 4th inning in a scoreless ball game. Astros have had 4 balls put in play and 2 double play balls. It has been a tough night to get the offense going. Verlander's given up a couple of hits and has struck out 5. The Astros have dominated the Colorado Rockies since moving to the American League. They've won 8 of the 10 head-to-head meetings since then. Tonight looking to get the offense cranked up. Almost halfway through this one with nothing to show for it. Off-speed pitch and off the end of the bat to center field. 1 out.
Catch one of the best ballpark bargains with the Coca-Cola Ballpark Bundle for only $20 during select weekday games. This offer includes a ticket, hot dogs, soda, and popcorn. Visit Astros.com/ballpark bundle for tickets and more information.
An important road trip coming up for the Astros. When you just look at the standings, knowing that you're going to be playing your teams that are chasing you. 3-game series in Oakland. That ball hit well to right. Reddick a few steps back and makes the catch on the warning track. Nolan Arenado is retired for the 2nd time tonight.
That right shoulder has been bothering Arenado, and it's usually that top hand that is the power hand. But a good idea to pitch him away, not allow him to get extended with that right arm, basically going out there with a 1-arm swing going the other way. But to your point, Kevin, I think these are important games because they're within the division against rivals that you actually have an opportunity to push down in the standings and create some separation. That's why that 4-game series against Seattle was so big for Seattle.
Got him right back. It was a make or break series for them. I mean, not
it really could have
literally,
been.
But
well, if it was a 4-game sweep the other way,
exactly,
they would have been destroyed.
They're toast.
Yeah.
And plus, they'd have been losing ground to the A's, because that is what it appears right now, barring something crazy happening. It's between the A's and the Mariners as far as the second wild card spot is concerned.
And they'll be getting started out there on the West Coast here pretty soon.
Robbie Cano makes his return tonight for the Seattle Mariners after serving the 80-game suspension. Well, just the A's putting together consistent play. And it's, for a while, it was, you know, it was nice. It was a nice 3 weeks, but now you're starting to talk about getting into a much bigger sample size of where they have been so very good. Now trailing the Astros by 2 games coming into play tonight.
Yeah, 2.5 out of that wild card behind Oakland. How about the lineup for the Seattle Mariners, having Robinson Cano batting second, playing first base?
Well, you knew when they moved D. Gordon.
Yep.
Well, when
they got better when he moved to second base.
Exactly, and when they went and got D. Gordon. Cover story, he didn't have much of a chance on that pitch.
That's a pretty good hitter, looking very uncomfortable.
It was a curious acquisition to begin with when you already had Robinson Cano. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3 called. 6th strikeout of the game. We're scoreless after 3.5. Tonight and tomorrow night, Colorado Rockies in this 2-game series. Off day on Thursday. Then it'll be at Oakland on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Charlie Morton, Dallas Keuchel, and Justin Verlander going in that 3-game series before heading off to Seattle for 3 more. Off day and then on to Anaheim. Bregman leads off the 4th. Alex walked his first plate appearance. Astros with 3 base runners, and they have hit into 2 double plays.
This should be the inning. Bregman, Correa, Marwin's been swinging the bat well. Yuli looking to get things going, but it's a real opportunity with Alex leading off.
Oh,
my goodness.
Hit the bull.
Is he aiming for orbit?
You know how many people in this building just said what I just said?
How do you hold that?
Hit the bull. watch Alex.
Bregman's look.
He's like, he's still ducked.
Wow.
Three on the left side. It's Bregman, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Maybe a fastball or a little bit of a slider on the outside corner and see Alex go with it in that right center field gap.
2-2. Broke his bat on that one.
Got the head out a little bit too quick off the end of the bat.
Rockies with a couple of hits. Astros still looking for their first hit. Three and 2. Marquez has walked 2 and hit a batter. One of those walks issued to Bregman. It's in the seats.
I wonder if Marquez feels like he beat Bregman with that fastball if he tries to challenge him with it again. If he gets that pitch down a little bit more, I think Alex is going to be off of the races.
Instead, he pops it up on the infield. Trevor Story takes it.
Stayed elevated on him and got the pop-up.
Carlos Correa struck out his first at bat. Astros still looking for their first hit.
Carlos took a couple of good passes at that slider from Marquez early. He's coming right after him with it.
Yes, he is. Pitching with a lot of confidence right now.
And that's what we've seen in the last 4 games here at Minute Maid Park is the starting pitching on the mound has just gotten into a groove, gotten into a rhythm. And the Astros haven't found a way to break that. And it kind of goes to that point that AJ and we keep talking about. If you get one base runner on, put him in the stretch position, make him uncomfortable, get another guy on base, and then you start putting a little more pressure on that pitcher. But when you continue to pitch without anybody on base, the worst case scenario is a solo home run.
It also becomes a lot easier when you're facing. It's a lot easier to put those hits together when you go with Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Yuli, and everybody else starts falling into their own spot. Much different lineup, and strike 3. 2 away.
No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Marwin Gonzalez has been getting it done. July and August, you have seen the second biggest increase in OPS in Major League Baseball. Jumping 509 points. A lot of that due to the fact that right-handed swing coming around with some funk. 3 home runs on that last road trip right-handed.
Now Marwin with the big series against Seattle. It goes back to what you were talking about a minute ago. Hard to get it done when one guy is really providing the offense. Marwin in July 615, August 1124 is the largest difference in that OPS July to August.
That's impressive.
Bats with 2 outs here in the 4th. Germán Marquez has been dealing. You almost get the feeling too, with the exception of the walks, he hit Yuli on a first pitch. With those 3 exceptions, it seems like as though he's been pitching ahead throughout this entire game as well. 2-hopper, LeMahieu. That'll retire the side. Into the 4th. We're scoreless. To go. Don't miss the Labor Day sale going on now. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Alongside Jeff Blum and Preston Wilson, Kevin Eschenfelder sitting in for Todd Callis for the next couple of days. TK will be back with you on the road trip and for the rest of the way out, starting in Seattle on Friday night. Justin Verlander, he's been on top of his game, allowing a couple of hits. Hard hit single by LeMahieu up the middle, and then a bunt single against the shift by Gerardo Parra. Parra leads off in the 5th. In there for strike 1. 12 of the 15 batters he has faced, he has thrown a first pitch strike.
Talked about Marquez working ahead. So is Justin Verlander.
Oh, 2. With the 2-strike count, Bregman moving back over towards the shortstop area.
Wow. That was a slider again.
Doubled up.
But it just, the bottom dropped out of it. A little bit different break.
A lot of depth. This is with the fastball. 1-2. Parra came to the big leagues as a Diamondback. A.J. Hinch was a big part of him when he was in that organization. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A.J. speaks very fondly when he talks of Gerardo Parra.
Yo, guys, I got to say, over these last 3 innings, the 3rd, 4th, and now into the 5th inning, I've seen Verlander's command get better as this game has gone along.
And it's night and day, Preston, what we saw against Seattle the other night. On Thursday night, it seemed as though he was living over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, I think even in the first 2 innings, he got away with a few pitches. There were some pitches that were in the middle of the strike zone, but he was fortunate enough to get away with them. And sometimes you just need a break to go your way. And then you start getting those calls over the corner. You start throwing in nasty sliders like that.
Like that is right. 7th strikeout of the game for Justin Verlander.
Well, and these sliders in this AB against Gerardo Parra kind of prove Preston's point. Our Matches from Super Mode gives you an idea of the break on that pitch going underneath the swing of Parra. But I also feel that Preston's doing a good job. I mean, sorry, Preston is doing a very good job.
Thank you very
but
much.
Justin's doing a great job on the mound of adjusting kind of pitch by pitch in each AB. You can kind of see him feeling the slider down. Then he went with the fastball elevated to try and get the strike in the top portion of the zone. Didn't get it, went right back to that slider.
Two and 0. Ryan McMahon struck out his first at bat in the 2nd inning. Two balls and 1 strike. And then McMahon, like a lot of lefties with that loopy long swing, sometimes it can get a little too long. May have saw it on that pitch right before, right there. Here's a 2-1. 2-2.
No, you said it much politer than I was thinking it.
Well,
because I honestly feel now that Justin feels his fastball's better than this swing because of that. And he shook. It looks like he shook back to the fastball.
fouled back. Two balls and 2 strikes. Got him swinging. His 8th strikeout of the game.
You can see inside the glove of Justin Verlander on that slider grip. Might have been a little more of the breaking ball, taking some velocity off it, getting the swing over the top. But you're watching Justin in complete command of all 3 of his pitches.
Blum, watching those at bats by McMahon, does that bring back any memories of you as a young player facing like a superstar pitcher that you just had no chance against?
Yeah, you're talking about Kevin Brown, aren't you?
Well, for me, it was Smoltz early in my career. So for you, yeah, Browning, yeah. There was when you just come up to the plate and you can try everything you want. He's just flat out better than you. And he can go 2-0 and not care and just throw fastballs and beat you with them. That's a bad feeling.
Yeah, you go back to the bat rack, throw things around, smash some bats, and throw your helmet around. And the veteran guy at the end of the bench is going, son, you're going to have to make an adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah, that somebody smart on the bench goes, hey, did you bring a note from home? It's like, what are you talking about? Why? Because you were tardy. Hey, you know what?
Yep.
That's enough.
It's so true.
Apaleka hits that one into right center field for a single. 3rd hit of the game for the Rockies, and the first since the 2nd inning. That's the first time the bottom third of the order has made contact in this game. Before that, the bottom third was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, there's a lot of
K's.
swing and missing and K's on the scorecard.
He's aboard with 2 outs for Tony Walters.
But you got to love too is that Justin just grabs the baseball, steps on the rubber, and goes, who's next? Don't worry about giving up that base hit. Just go after the next guy and attack.
Verlander approaching 80 pitches as he works here in the 5th.
Yeah, Preston talking about those veteran pitchers. It always felt like they were a pitch or 2 ahead of you in your thought process.
Yeah, you can't. They're just better than you. They're 1 pitch ahead. The location is always right where it needs to be, and they can attack your weakness. And until you close up those holes in your swings, you don't beat those guys.
So Smoltz was your guy?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I still got to, when I work at that other job I got to go see him there. Yeah. I actually asked him to move his pitcher from right by the door, so it wasn't the first thing I saw when I walked in every day.
Change that mindset.
Did you kind of flinch when you walk into the office?
Yeah. Can we put like the league commissioner or something like that up there instead of having him up there? Like, yeah, my grandparents' closest team that we played was Atlanta, and I don't think they thought I was a very good baseball player.
That's a rough sample size.
Yeah.
Your grandparents would come out and you're facing Glavine one night, Smoltz the next.
Yeah.
Well, Preston
don't forget Maddox.
Exactly.
Well, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Preston and I came up in the National League East.
19 times a year you had to face those dudes.
Exactly.
And that would be even worse because, 2 of those guys between Glavine and Maddox, I mean, your grandfather may look and go, what? He's not throwing that hard.
But the pinpoint accuracy, and like we said, the ability to be 1 pitch ahead.
Yeah, and let's remember that's in the era where if they hit the glove, it was a strike. So they would get that 3 or 4 inches outside, and if they could hit that spot all night, that became a strike.
You hitters are so bitter.
Oh, I'm still bitter. That's right.
Well, Javi Lopez, the catcher, was about 6'5", like 250, and was a massive target.
Yeah.
He'd set up in the other box, and like Preston said, if the catcher caught it in the middle of his body, it'd be a strike.
And then Glavine would throw 2 more inches off the plate.
Yep,
and then
get the call.
Keep going. Yep.
I remember I got so mad at umpire one day. I said, well, if he hits a Gatorade cooler all the time, is that a strike? It was so frustrating. They were so much better than me.
Now the crowd started to get into it. Haven't had much offense to cheer for. Justin Verlander, a different story, though.
Yeah, fans understanding the 9-hole hitter. Tony Walters up there with a 3-2 count. 2 outs. Strikeout right here would end this inning in nice fashion.
Swing and a miss. Justin Verlander with his 9th strikeout through 5 innings in a scoreless game.
Download the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or go to AT&TSportsnet.com to stream from your computer. Log in with your cable account information and you're all set. Available to customers whose TV subscription includes AT&T Sportsnet. Subject to blackouts and territorial restrictions.
Rockies no runs, 3 hits. They've left 3. The Astros no runs, no hits, and they have left 1 base runner. Hit into a couple of double play balls. Yuli Gurriel has reached. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. He takes 2-0.
Yeah, I'd like to see a base hit this inning.
I'd like to see a couple.
Getting greedy.
Yuli into right center field, and that'll shoot the gap. Yuli heading for second. He'll make the turn. Gurriel, head first slide and a leadoff triple in the 5th. Ask and you shall receive, Jeff Blum.
I'm sorry I waited so long. But I'm also happy to see Yuli Gurriel hitting this baseball in the spot we just saw. Fastball down, but when Yuli is going right, he is up the middle the other way with authority. He's always been a high velocity type guy. And he did a very good job of shooting that right center field gap. And I like the fact that he was hustling the entire way and decided to go to third.
His first triple of the season. And the Astros with a runner 90 feet away with nobody out. Here's Josh Reddick. Reddick into right, and the Astros with a 1-0 lead.
Asking you shall receive. Why does it feel like just an absolute offensive explosion when one run comes across? Big things happening hopefully this inning for the Astros. Josh Reddick with a big base hit, not wasting any time. Take advantage of those mistakes. That was a mistake for Marquez. Great job by Josh, bringing the hands in, dropping the barrel on it, rifling that into right field, driving in that run. Keep things going. Keep that train moving.
Evan Gattis steps in, trying to snap an 0 for 17. And so often the case, too, when you see a guy like Marquez who is not allowed a hit through the first 4 innings. He gives up that first one, whether it's a sense of it breaks the concentration that got him there, whatever the case may be. Back-to-back hits for the Astros, and they lead 1-0. Breaking ball in for a strike.
Okay. Like the aggressive swing.
Marquez pulled a string at 86 miles an hour.
That get up underneath the throat of Walters.
I think it did. It seemed coughing.
Well, he reacted as if the ball shot away, but when he was coming back to the baseball, kind of reached towards his chest protector, if not higher, right? Oh, wow.
Good call.
A lot of times you'll hear catchers say, get the head down, put the nose down to the baseball. Not only do you see where the baseball is, but it also puts that throat, closes the gap in between the chest and the throat to hopefully block that ball.
Are you old enough to remember Steve Gardy getting?
Oh my gosh, Steve
Yeager. I'm sorry, Steve Yeager, not
Yep.
Steve Gardy. Steve Yeager, the catcher for the Dodgers. Steve Gardy was the first baseman.
Yeah,
He got hit with a bat that spun off, basically split, and got hit in the throat, and that's where the guard really started.
The original one that dangled below the face mask.
He was in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss, and Gattis is going to reach first base. What did they call?
First base is occupied.
Oh, first base, he wasn't going with the pitch, so the runner will move ahead. Okay. So Reddick wasn't going with the pitch. It's a wild pitch. And Gattis unable to reach first base.
Yeah, Walter's doing everything he could. Got the face down on that one, but it skipped away. But with the runner at first base, you can't advance after the strikeout and the ball getting away.
Well, this brings up Kyle Tucker with a runner in scoring position. Remember, Tucker had the huge triple at Coors Field. That was in the 10th inning of that 6-run 10th inning the Astros were able to put together. Base hit of any kind would work here with Reddick at second base, leading away. 0-2. Remember, Tucker got to third base and then kind of
gave a little reaction. We saw some emotion. I'd like to see it again. I'd also like to see it on a home run.
A ball and 2 strikes. Tucker walked in the third. Astros leading 1-0. Yuli Gurriel, a leadoff triple. And Josh Reddick followed with an RBI single. He's at second. Just missed. It's 2-2.
Pretty good take. Tough pitch down. Man.
Zone 2.
As much as you'd like to see a home run from Kyle Tucker early, I think it'd be even better to see him in a 2-2 count, get a tough pitch, maybe a fastball down and away, or stay on one of those sliders and get a base hit out of it and drive a run in. It's probably one of the hardest things as a young hitter is to try and do too much too early and just take what's given to you. Right now, a base hit does just as much damage as getting a home run.
Tucker called up in early July. He was up for a couple of weeks, and he ended up getting sent back down. Jake Marisnick went on the disabled list. Tucker recalled on Sunday. Still looking for that first career home run. He's got 3 big league RBIs.
It's also hard walking up to the plate and seeing 146 on those scoreboards. That's when you really got to kind of knock down all that outside noise.
There's a swing, a drive to center field. Going back. And makes the play right in front of the wall. Charlie Blackmon with his back against the center field fence. Reddick goes to third base. He just missed getting that one out of here.
You almost get the sense that he feel like he got it. He stayed on it. That was a tough pitch down and away. He knew he barreled it up. But even without Towles Hill out there in center field, still a pretty good poke to get it out of here. Oh. Better swing, though. And I think we saw Alex Cintron kind of give him a clap as he was coming off the field, saying, hey, keep it up, you're getting there.
And I think he knows he just missed that.
Yeah.
You could tell by the look in his eyes when he got to the dugout. So now Martin Maldonado. So, man, that was way out of here in Fresno.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
One and one. Been a struggle for Martin at the plate since he's come over from the Angels. He's been really good behind the dish. Now 75 pitches for German Marquez. It's 1-2. Now you're at the point now, you're the Astros, you're thinking to yourself, slider in the dirt, anything to get that runner in from third base. Take whatever you can get. It has been a struggle. Misses outside.
Yeah, you're not going to complain about scoring another run anyhow, anyway.
Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. That'll retire the side, but the Astros get a run on 2 hits and leave a man. Gullo fan cam and good crowd on hand here for a lot of folks that are starting school tomorrow. Fan cam is presented by GulloAuto.com. Summer went by fast.
It actually did. Snuck up on us. What a better way to spend your last day of summer than at underneath a beautiful roof in a beautiful ballpark, watching some good pitching.
72 degrees. Can't beat it.
What?
Jinx. Remember we were in Denver. It's Charlie Blackmon leads off in the 6th. There was the first night we were there. We had an hour-long rain delay, and it didn't rain a drop. The next night, we didn't have the rain delay, and it was just showers all over the place, and it rained. And 58 degrees by the end of the night.
Yeah, it was bitter cold by the end of the night. Julia went through fall,
yeah,
summer, and spring all in one ball game.
It was the story of the seasons, all in 6 hours in Denver. Foul back. It's 0-2. In one of those two games, Blackmon won it on a walk-off home run in the 9th inning.
In what feels like the only blemish Colin McHugh's had all season.
The Rockies come into this game 63-55. They are a game back along with the Dodgers of the Arizona Diamondbacks in the West. Took 3 out of 4 from LA at Colorado before coming in. An off day yesterday. Missed 1 and 2. This is the 38th consecutive game for the Rockies against a team with a winning record, plus 500, and they are 25-13 during that stretch.
Not bad.
So playing well during their toughest stretch of baseball. Astros have lost 10 of their last 16. Remember, they went through that stretch last August. A stretch they lost 8 of 9. Got a pretty good hitter right there. Charlie Blackmon goes down semi-swinging, his 10th strikeout of the game.
Charlie Blackmon saw a couple more sliders in this AB than he did his 2 previous ABs. Justin Verlander heavy on the fastball the first 2 times against Charlie Blackmon. Snapped off a couple of good ones to get that swing and miss.
It's the 8th double-digit strikeout game of the season for Justin Verlander. He's got 4 games in which he has 9 strikeouts. LeMahieu has one of the 3 Rockies hits tonight. One of those hits was a bunt against the shift. Was by Gerardo Parra. He's thrown a couple of just wicked breaking balls. And I think it was LeMahieu both times.
Yeah.
Man, pick somebody else.
Oh, just throwing it right at him and then breaking it over the plate.
A frisbee. It starts over there. You gotta wait for it to come back.
Well, there's a right-handed hitter. I know Preston would probably talk this better than I could, but you got to keep that front shoulder closed on the breaking ball, and he does. It ends up coming back over the plate for a strike, and then that pitch right there at 95, 96. Coming at the same trajectory, that's not easy to try and fight against.
LeMahieu 1 for 2. Flied out to center in his other at bat. It was in the 4th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Blum, you're exactly right. When you got a guy who throws hard, and you have to try to guard against that outside fastball, but in your mind, when you see that ball go at your front shoulder and you have to wait just that extra second to see if it's a breaking ball or a fastball, that's not comfortable.
See, that's the difference between a baseball player and a normal human being. A normal human being just doesn't wait. You flinch because that's human nature.
That's a natural reaction, yeah.
But what I'm saying is baseball players have the ability to override the natural reaction to flinch.
Yeah, you go against all of your instincts when you see that ball coming right at you and you just pause for that second.
Yep. And to be able to go, well, I read spin. Yeah, I read, you know, normal human beings see something coming at you, you flinch. You flinch, you can't hit. You know, a lot of people I know a lot of people that had to attribute that to. This one hit the left and right at Kyle Tucker. That was one of those plays, Blummer. Sometimes you'll see that line drive that stays low and stays right in that light bank to a left fielder. But Tucker able to make the play, and there's 2 away.
Host clients are celebrate a special occasion at an Astros game. Minute Maid Park offers fans a variety of premium seating opportunities, including club and suite level seats for any group size. Visit astros.com/suites or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
A rare ball put in play. 10 of the 17 outs recorded have been by strikeout. Carlos Gonzalez has struck out and flied out. Takes strike 1.
Guys, on that ball to Tucker, one of the things that's going around the league now, a lot of these stadiums are replacing the old lights with the new LED lights. They're brighter, and some players have trouble with them because they do give off a lot more light, but the fans that sit up in those areas enjoy it because they throw off a lot less heat.
Ball hit the center. Tony Kemp coming in, won't get there. Well, Carlos Gonzalez, that ball got in on the handle just a little bit. It worked to the benefit of Gonzalez as he gets his first hit of the night.
Here are your GMC defensive rankings. Outfielders for the Houston Astros, bringing back a little something we did a lot last year, is kind of judge that arm strength and whether or not that third base coach or these base runners are going to test the arms of those guys in the outfield. Josh Reddick is a red light. Always has that reputation of being able to throw the baseball well and accurate. I think they're going to test Tony Kemp, a second baseman who's moved the outfield. And obviously the rookie Kyle Tucker out there in left field is a guy you're going to pick on if you have the opportunity.
And you think about this too, as Nolan Arenado swings at strike 1. We talk about the injuries. We always talk about the lineup, what that does to the next man up. But let's talk about the defense and what you miss in that regard. When you talk about Jake Marisnick, you talk about, and then not only Marisnick and Springer, but that puts everybody else in their place. So you would have gone from 2 green lights and a red light to 4 red lights.
Just shut it down.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, you know, you got 3 red lights, and then whoever's going to come in as the 4th outfielder is as well. Arenado to right, long run for Reddick, and that ball is gone. 2-run home run, Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies take a 2-1 lead. That's his 30th home run of the season.
It's pretty good professional hitting from Nolan Arenado.
Yes, it was.
Give him 84 RBIs on the season also. We talked about it earlier, he was going away from him, trying to not let him get extended, but he just kind of gets on top of it and barrels it the other way. And here at Minute Maid Park, that's just enough to get about 3 rows into the seats. And then just completely rejected by the fan out there. 23 home runs now given up by Justin Verlander.
It's Arenado's of his 30 home runs. That's his 14th on the road. That is now the 11th home run allowed by Justin in his last 6 starts. .349 feet. Hit probability of 33%.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Two and one. Now Trevor Story 0 for 2. Punched out looking in the 4th inning. Tony Sipp begins to loosen up in the Astros bullpen.
That's another thing we've seen too, is the shutdown inning after the Astros score. I know it's a lot to ask because the Astros only scored 1 run, but you almost get the sense that the next inning in a lot of these games, the other team has answered back with either a tying run or a go-ahead run.
That one hit hard up the middle. 3rd hit in a row for Colorado after 2 outs in the inning. Single homer single brings up Gerardo Parra.
Good hitting. The slider that Story saw before that was a much better pitch. Down, that one stayed up.
Verlander cruising right along with 2 outs in the 6th. He's given up a couple of runs on 3 hits. And a tough out here in Gerardo Parra. Foul back. Verlander's first 16 starts, he had an ERA just north of 1.5. His last 9, the ERA becoming a little more human. A little more than 4 1/4 in his last 9 starts. He's also gone 2 and 5 during those starts. Hasn't gotten much run support.
No, all year.
Yeah.
It's been sporadic.
His 3rd start against the National League this season. His 4th start against an interleague play. Great against Arizona and San Francisco, and even better against the Dodgers in his 3 previous starts.
Well, he's got great interleague numbers. 33 career starts. With 33 career wins, I apologize, with a 2.76.
You could make the argument he's the all-time greatest interleague pitcher.
Wow.
He leads all of in wins among interleague play. And he gets Parra for his 11th strikeout of the game, but the Rockies get a pair on a Nolan Arenado 2-run home run.
Results. They are in. What was your favorite part of Legends Weekend at Minute Maid Park? The rainbow jerseys take the cake at 46%. Home Run Derby in 2nd place, but we all know that those rainbow jerseys are legendary and they are a fan favorite, and usually we see the Astros play pretty good baseball in them, but they always look good.
Tony Kemp. Blackman over, and he'll make the grab. I'll give them credit because they didn't go halfway on that. You know, a lot of times you'll see the teams they'll go with the retro uniform, but they don't finish it. They went with the orange helmets.
Yeah,
that
is classy.
Which is what the Astros wore back during that era. Bregman's 0 for 1. Walked in the 1st.
We've seen the Brewers and I think the Phillies, just a couple of teams that I can think off the top of my head that have actually instituted either a Friday or Saturday night where they bring back the powder blues or one of those retro uniforms.
White Sox did it a few years back. They would go with the red, and White Sox have probably had more uniforms than anybody.
Yeah, they've had some interesting
But
ones.
they would wear the old red and white pinstripes on Sundays.
Yeah.
Remember those? Just.
Yep. I'm surprised the Astros haven't tried to institute the rainbow jersey in there.
Hit deep to left and foul.
That is how things are going for the Astros.
You know the one I would love to see them bring back? Just fouled. By that much.
Man.
I would love to see them bring back the 73, 74 jerseys that had the zippers in the front. They were the predominantly orange.
Yeah.
They had the shooting stars.
Yep.
Strike 3 called. Wow.
That's that curveball.
Yep.
It's been a very good pitch for Marquez since the All-Star break. He's throwing it harder, getting more swings and misses with it. This one just locks up Alex Bregman.
That'll bring up Correa 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. It has been a struggle for Carlos since he has made his return from the disabled list. 0-2. It is a small sample size, but it's going to take him some swings to get his feet underneath him.
Yeah, a lot of its timing. A 2-strike pitch was the pitch for the second strike in this AB at 96 miles an hour down and in is a pretty tough pitch.
Well, the hit that he had on Sunday, going 1 for 5 against Seattle, is his first hit since coming back off the DL.
Wasn't even a full swing.
Exactly. And that's where you got the feeling that was what the gut punch was of losing that lead later, at least having Seattle tight, because you thought, man, okay, maybe this has got something going our way. That would foul back. Looked like he was playing cricket when he hit that in the right field.
Yep. Just redirected it, really didn't try and punish it.
To right, and no problem for Cargo. That'll retire the side.
Pitching performance. It's Justin Verlander's night, bouncing back after a rough start against the Seattle Mariners. Did a great job against the Colorado Rockies, going 6 strong, scattering 6 hits, 2 earned runs on that swing from Nolan Arenado. Did not walk anybody, showed a great power breaking ball, great power slider, was aggressive again with that fastball, created 11 strikeouts. Leaves this game with the potential for a loss, but only giving up 2 runs. An incredible bounce back performance, keeping the Astros in this ball game. And on now is Colin McHugh.
Have to wait another 5 days to go for career win number 200. 41st appearance for Colin McHugh. He's given up 6 earned runs all season long. One of those 6 came against these Colorado Rockies, and that was the last time he was ticketed with a loss, and last time he had been ticketed with a blown save. That was when he gave up the solo home run in the 9th inning, the game winner by Charlie Blackmon. Faces Ryan McMahon here.
Justin Verlander threw 107 pitches and created 21 swinging strikes. It's a good number.
Yes, it is. 1-2. Colin threw a scoreless inning on Friday against Seattle. We're talking about scoreless innings for Colin McHugh. You got to be a little more specific than that, because it seems like he does it about 3 times a week. Well, that one got him on the foot.
I've seen that happen a lot this year, mostly with Charlie Morton, with the breaking ball and the slider down and in, catching the shins or feet of left-handed hitters. It's unfortunate because more often than not they've been happening with 2 strikes. Set up in, just way too much break, and catches the top of that left foot.
Well, Morton did it. Was it 3 times in that game against in Arlington?
Yeah.
That? I know you remember.
Try not to. I think I was on the 11th tee box when I heard about the 3rd one.
I remember. That's right. That was it was a
national
more working
game
that night.
Yep.
That's right.
It's tough to bunt when you're holding your breath for that long.
You're afraid he might black out. Easier to laugh from up here. That Valleca's 1 for 2, solid single in the 5th inning. One of the 6 hits that Justin Verlander gave up in 6 innings of work.
It's a foul ball at the plate. I just wanted to see Maldonado throw.
Me too. I'm glad he did. And it always looks good. But I also like the way he just continues to play kind of through the whistle, if you want to use that analogy. Showing no faith, but Colin McHugh's just happy he still has his hat on.
Yeah, get down. Wow. Now the funny thing, when the Astros played the Rockies, looking so forward, you got to, whenever it's a team not in the same league, not in the same division, you got to work hard to watch some of their players play. And I wanted to really see Nolan Arenado make some plays and things like that. He had 1 assist in the 2 games. 1 ball that was hit at him, and it was a routine ground ball.
Biggest letdown in the series.
And he comes here, and now he's a designated hitter. He gets Valaika swinging. So the strikeout trend continues. 12th strikeout of the night for Astros pitching. And there's 1 out in the 7th.
Well, Colin McHugh gets the strikeout, but he also gets the assist from the attempted bunts, putting it Valaika behind in that 2-strike count.
So Tony Wolters is the 9-hole hitter, and if anybody's happy to see Verlander go, it's Tony Wolters. He has had a couple of tough ABs. Struck out swinging his first 2 at-bats. Strike 1.
Well, I believe that's the 3rd fastball in the outside corner he's seen to lead off an AB.
Verlander worked ahead all night long. 1 first pitch strike after another. Oh, 1 from McHugh. Breaking ball in the dirt. We talked about Maldonado. Speaking of catchers and speaking of injuries, Brian McCann is expected to head to Tacoma to play for the Fresno Grizzlies coming up this weekend, maybe as early as Thursday. More than likely, if you're looking at the time frame, he's more than likely going to be there until the rosters expand. That's not official, and obviously that's if everybody stays healthy.
Pretty similar to August of last season.
Very.
Jake Marisnick on the bottom line. He's another guy that's on there that didn't fit on the graphic. Lance McCullers again on the DL with that elbow. Hopefully that's a temporary issue. Devo's going to be pitching his way back.
Going to throw an inning tonight for Fresno. Springer's not going to have a rehab assignment. They've not been made official. But barring anything unexpected, any setbacks, which they do not expect,
I am pleasantly surprised by that.
He will play Friday night in Oakland.
The interesting one is Altuve. That one lingering a little bit longer than I think all of us anticipated.
It was against Colorado that Jose Altuve went into second base on a ball that 9 times out of 10 he's standing at third. He had a ball in the gap to right center field in a big yard like that at Coors Field. And he kind of hobbled into second base. He left on that half inning. Who would have known that back on, I believe it was July 25th, we would be 3 or 4 weeks later, and he still has not been back for the Astros. And stay away from those guys.
Yeah.
The quarantine section right there. I bet he's a pain to be around too.
The most adorable man in baseball.
No, but just I'm talking about just from AJ's standpoint. That ball cranked into the right field corner. McMahon will come around third, waved home, throw to the plate, and he's safe. Ball got away, and it's going to be an RBI double for Tony Wolters. And the Rockies extend the lead to 3-1.
Good pitch to hit and a 2-strike count. Down and away, fastball middle in. It's a pretty easy decision. If you're trying to defend the fastball away in a 2-strike count, you get that fastball middle in. It's just a matter of dropping the barrel to it. That's exactly what Wolters did. McMahon took a little bit longer to get to home plate than I thought he would.
So McHugh leaves. We'll take a break. Tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. 3-1 Rockies.
Police Department for the annual Badges and Bases H-Town Rundown presented by Chenier. This family-friendly 5K and 10K run will take place Saturday, September 29th, with proceeds benefiting both organizations. To register, visit astros.com/run.
Tony Sipp comes on to work for the Astros. He has been as solid a situational lefty as you're going to find. He has had scoreless outings in 28 of his last 29 outings, making his 37th appearance.
It's really been a bounce back year for Tony Sipp, and it has been good to see. And the reason he is in here is because Charlie Blackmon, the left-handed hitter,
who is 1 for 3 in his career against Sipp, and that one was a home run. Has a runner in scoring position here and lifts this one to left field. Easy for Tucker. 2 away. A run in on a hit by pitch and an RBI double by Tony Wolters, the 9-hole hitter. And Tony Sipp has done his job, and A.J. Hinch will go back to the bullpen.
job well done.
New pitcher when we come back.
Waiver wire. 19 is second best and refined roll. You know who that Astro is. You know what to do. You tweet your answer to @ATT Sportsnet SW, and then you hold on, watch the rest of the ball game, and we'll let you know if you're right or wrong.
I should know these, really.
You really should.
But I just don't think I'm wired with the clues.
So you're not going to be on my Pictionary team or
No.
my Jeopardy team?
That's not Pictionary.
Close enough with the silhouette.
Well, who was the one the other day? Was it Moises that had it was the bat that looked like he was wearing a little beret or something?
Brad Peacock on for the Houston Astros, making his 47th appearance, trying to lock down this inning and get out of it, get that offense back up there.
Just misses, ball 1.
Did you just reference Raspberry Beret?
Well,
kinda.
the thing about it, Moises Alou could pull it off and look cool doing it.
And get 4 hits.
Good point. Mayhew had the first hit of the game for the Rockies. I was in the first inning. A 2-hole hitter. Flied out a couple of times. Hit the ball hard last time. That was the line drive right at Kyle Tucker. Well, the other night, you know, I'm surprised Baggy didn't say something to you about that. Because you referenced Jeff Bagwell. Somebody said something about the silhouette in the ears. You remember that?
Yes.
Which I didn't get. But I do look at the silhouette sometimes to try to figure out.
Yeah, sometimes it's a dead giveaway.
Which I didn't look at the silhouette that time. Do you know who it is?
Yeah. For whatever reason, I lock in on those.
You do.
Some fans on Twitter already getting it pretty good.
Ball looked like he was going to chase him inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was beautifully located. Maldonado didn't have to move an inch.
On the ground to Marwin. Got to retire the side, but the Rockies get a run and lead it 3-1.
For for Josh Reddick, driving in the only run of the game so far for the Houston Astros. Good pitch down and in on a mistake by Marquez. Trying to pick his team up and get things going. That's been it for the Houston Astros so far, who trail 3-1. And German Marquez is pitching a gem of a game here at Minute Maid Park against these Houston Astros.
That was a 15-minute half inning. So he has been sitting down for a while. Let's see how that affects him. Pump him up or lose some rhythm, whatever the case may be. When his first career start against the Astros, his 59th career start overall, the 23-year-old has been outstanding. Strike one to Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Showed bunt, it's 0-2.
That's the only thing I don't like about squaring around to bunt or trying to bunt with one strike. Unless you're extremely good at it, sometimes it can put you in a tough spot. 0-2.
Coming into this game, Rockies starters had a .335 ERA since June 28th. So basically since the start of July. And that ERA, barring something happen in a hurry, is going to go down even more for that.
Well, and how about Marquez, too? He came into this game with a 3.09 ERA on the road. Good for 9th in the National League, and that's going to be very good.
Team ERA is second lowest in the National League. On the road, like you said, 3.09 with a 5-3 record. At home, more than almost 3.5 runs difference. 6.42 is ERA at Coors Field. A 4-6 mark. Ian Desmond has come in to play at first base. Marwin goes the opposite way. Hit well, going back, looking up off the top of the wall. And Marwin into second base with a 2-strike double. Down in the count and found something to hit.
Fastball away, and that's what you got to do. Good job of letting it travel and then getting the barrel to it. It doesn't look like an extremely powerful swing, but it was quick. Got the barrel to contact and drove through it. Almost got it up into those Crawford boxes.
Well, the power player to watch is presented by TXU and Yuli Gurriel. He has scored the Astros' only run, and it started with his 3-base hit to right center field. Yuli leading off the 5th inning. He would score on Josh Reddick's RBI single. As our TXU Energy power player. Now looking to come up with a big knock here. Runner in scoring position. Yuli right at Trevor Story. Marwin has to get back. There's one away.
Well, it wasn't a double play.
You know, and Marwin, he really had to hustle to get back. Watch Marwin.
Right in the line of fire, too.
Yuli got down the line, too. So Reddick, who has driven in the Astros' only run. Ball one.
Josh is up there again with a runner in scoring position and an opportunity for a base hit to drive in a run. Did exactly that last time up.
Two and up. Struck out in the 2nd. Had the RBI single in the 5th.
This is a first time we've seen Marquez really falter. 3-0 count to Josh. I would imagine he's got the green light.
Sunwon Oh is warming up. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike.
Make him do it again. Maybe he makes a mistake up out over the plate, something he can get extended on drive. Slider. That's pretty good respect. 3-1, maybe sitting on a heater, and he just breaks over and get me over a slider at 85 miles an hour.
Are you looking to break a little rhythm there?
Yeah, you see that from a lot of big league hitters in 3-2 counts. You'll see that pitcher come set, call timeout, just try and break things up a little bit, get command of the AB back.
3-2 pitch. That ball.
How does he do it?
That is catcher's interference on a 3-2 swing. That's got to be the 10th time this season that has happened.
Well, between the last 2 seasons, it's
crazy.
easily over 10 times. But it almost looked at there was intent. That was a late swing from Josh Reddick. But he's got a history of doing this. Just drop. Watch the end of the bat just drop.
It was an immediate call, too. So that goes as an E2 in catcher's interference.
For those scoring at home, you can either write E2 or you can put CI.
Or do both.
Or just completely fill up the box.
Yeah, Josh has got one of those swings at times where his hands kind of drop behind his body, behind the swing. And that can actually get you, if you see how his hands separate and then they go down from there instead of across the chest, that can get you some catcher's interference, especially when you have a catcher that's wanting to extend towards it or kind of steal that strike. Those are the guys that get those catcher's interference, the guys who the hands drop behind their body.
You know, he did that in Colorado. He got Tom Murphy in Denver.
You have to be very disciplined as a catcher to not extend on those guys because you will get clipped a little bit, and that can cost your pitcher a hit right there.
Well, Preston's exactly right. What he means by stealing a strike is trying to catch that pitch by extending that arm out, and that's what leads to it. But there's nobody better at it than Josh Reddick.
But Marquez stays in the game. Tying runs are on base. And Evan Gattis, 0 for 2, hit into a double play and struck out.
The opportunity is here.
Gattis to shallow center field. First pitch swinging. 2 away.
That was a good one for Evan to go get. He knew it, missed it.
Kyle Tucker flied out in his last at bat. He squared one up. Drove Charlie Blackmon all the way to the wall in dead center field. Astros down 3-1. Tucker. Marquez. That'll retire the side. The Astros leave 2, down 2, going to the 8th.
Wire 19 is second best refined roll. Who is it? Of course, call him the Q. Great waiver wire pickup by Jeff Luhnow. 19 wins in 2015 behind his good buddy who won the Cy Young Award that year with 20 wins, Dallas Keuchel, and since being in that relief role has been very good with a .98 ERA coming into this ball game.
Made 4 appearances as a Colorado Rocky. Placed on waivers. The Astros picked him up. And 2 seasons later, a 19-game winner in the big leagues. Funny how life works, isn't it? Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you getting released turns out to be the best thing that can happen to a guy like Colin McHugh. And meeting up with a pitching coach like Brent Strom.
That helps. The right direction. Still some confidence. Good things happen.
Carlos Gonzalez singled and scored on the 2-run home run by Nolan Arenado in the 6th inning. Rockies lead at 3-1. One more tomorrow between the Astros and the Colorado Rockies. It'll be Garrett Cole against Tyler Anderson. You know, now's the time when you look at the schedule, start looking ahead. Astros have 2 homestands remaining in 2018 after they leave town. 3 road trips, 2 homestands. Isn't that crazy?
Seems like since the All-Star break, they've been on the road quite a bit. Another 3-city trip coming up.
3-city trip to Oakland, Seattle, and LA. They come back home where they will host the A's, Angels, and Minnesota Twins. Back out on the road, 3 at Boston and Detroit. Then they come back home for the final homestand, September 14th through 23rd. Arizona, Seattle, and the Angels. And back out on the road to Toronto and Baltimore to finish up the regular season. On the ground to Yuli. He'll take it himself. 1 out in the 8th. Now Nolan Arenado, the designated hitter, hit his 30th home run of the season. Rockies have played 7 games in National League ballparks. Nolan Arenado is the 7th different designated hitter for the Colorado Rockies in 2018.
Nicely done. But Black doesn't want anybody to get too comfortable in that DH role, I guess.
You know, I'd love to see him play third base tomorrow. I mean, it's one of those where, you know, if you're going to see if you're in the Western Conference in the NBA and LeBron comes to town, you want to see him play. That ball almost chasing him inside.
Well, it's an interesting pitch after the guy hit a home run.
It was spinning. Now the opposite way. Little I know you're there pitch.
Yeah.
Just a reminder.
So you're tired of seeing the highlight reels of Nolan Arenado. You want to see it in person?
No. I think it's only fair. He does have more Gold Gloves than he has service time.
Which is incredible
isn't that
itself.
Amazing?
Yeah.
4 years, 155 days of service time. He's got 5 Gold Gloves, meaning he won a Gold Glove in his first year in the major leagues that he did not start the season in the major leagues. That's how good defensively that guy is.
Anybody ever done that before?
Nope. Wow. Only infielder ever to win 5 Gold Gloves in his first 5 seasons in the big leagues.
Do you know the last third baseman to win a Gold Glove in the National League?
The last one other than Nolan Arenado?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Who was it?
Chase Headley.
That was kind of... It has been a while.
It's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Yeah. That's just trying to process that for a second. Well, Brooks Robinson won 16.
So Nolan's got some work ahead of him.
There was a bunch of third basemen ahead of A lot of hang with them in the
I would say for 16 years in the American League.
50s. That was 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Golly.
Well, Mike Schmidt, I know he maybe throwing some accolades around, but Mike Schmidt believes that Nolan Arenado has a chance to become the greatest third baseman of all time. That's
Think about that. I mean, of all the third basemen, Mike Schmidt, George Brett, Rich Robinson.
What a swing and a miss. All that good talking, and Brad Peacock just punches him out.
Wasn't easy. He had to go to a couple of different pitches and have a talk with Maldonado, but a nice slider to put him away.
Peacock continuing a trend coming into this game. Last 4, he had struck out 12 of the last 18 batters he's faced. That's his first of the night. Trevor Story 1 for 3, single in the 6th inning. Story, a native Texan, grew up in the Dallas area. No, he had enjoyed this rotation through in which the National League West plays the American League West. A chance to play in his home state, play in Arlington as well as here in Houston. That ball cranked to left, and you can forget about it. That ball was rocketed out of here, and it's 4-1.
It's usually what happens to hanging sliders. It's a tough pitch when it's moving right. When it's not, it looks like it ends up on a tee. Ball gets out of here in a hurry.
And it did.
107 miles an hour off the bat. Story knew it.
Everybody, when that ball left,
just took out our camera.
That's 372 feet. Here's Gerardo Parra. Swings over the top of that breaking ball. It's 0-1. You get home runs and guys that are going to get a chance to catch them in the stands. A majestic ball that kind of floats in. That ball had some heat on it when it got the Landry's Crawford boxes. Parra, second hit of the night, and just punches one to the left side.
Parra beat the shift with a bunt. This time he just beats it by taking that pitch the other way. It was actually a really good piece of hitting. It's not exactly where Peacock wanted it, because if he gets that down and in, then it turns into a rollover into the shift. But when you miss your spot out over the plate and allow the hitter to go the other way with it, that's where he benefits.
He has turned himself into a really solid Major League Baseball player.
He's got a gold glove under his belt back in 2011 too.
Ryan McMahon, he was hit by a pitch and scored on Tony Wolters' RBI double. That proved to be a big blow of the ball game. 9-hole hitter coming up with double off of McHugh. Peacock quickly ahead, 0-2. Rockies with a 2-run home run by Nolan Arenado. RBI double by Wolters and a solo home run by Trevor Story, counting for the 4 Rockies runs tonight. Astros with an RBI single by Josh Reddick in the 5th after Yuli Gurriel had led off with a triple. Strike 3 called. Rockies add another run, lead it 4-1. On Josh Reddick's RBI single, but Nolan Arenado answered in the 6th, a 2-run home run, the only blemish on the card for Justin Verlander tonight, who goes 6 innings and punches out 11 in this one tonight, and the Rockies leading it by a score of 4-1. Kevin Eschenfelder, Jeff Blum with you upstairs. Preston Wilson down on the sideline. And this is what the Astros are looking for, trying to get into that pen, the highest ERA in the National League. Colorado Rockies at 5.16, and they face Ottavino, who comes out of that lineup, out of that bullpen, and it'll be Tyler White pinch hitting for the Astros.
Yeah, and the Colorado Rockies cannot be pleased with the outcome of that, because they spent over $100 million to try to shore up that bullpen this past offseason, only to result in it having the highest ERA in the National League.
Yeah, Thursday night, Preston, they had that lead over the Dodgers and blew that one late, adding Wade Davis. They had added some names to the back end of that bullpen. It has not paid off.
Well, that series in Colorado, they got wrecked for 6 runs in that 10th inning. Wade Davis is where a lot of that money's going, and he got it stuck to him that night.
Yeah, and the part of the pitching staff that they thought was going to need the most help is actually the part that's shining the brightest, is their starting young pitching staff.
Yeah, they do have good young arms in that rotation. We saw John Gray pitch extremely well against the Astros in Denver.
Yeah, second lowest ERA in the National League over the last month, this Colorado Rocky team. But the bullpen has been a different story. Three balls and 1 strike. So Tyler White in a hitter's count. Yeah, Tyler really swung the bat well. He was another one of the few bright spots as far as the Seattle series is concerned.
Trying to get things going here, hitting for Maldonado.
Yep, 4 for 13 against Seattle. That breaking ball misses upstairs, and Tyler White draws a leadoff walk in the 8th. Turn it over to the top of the lineup, and Tony Kemp.
Base runners. It's got to be a little disconcerting after we just saw that high ERA number for Bud Black's bullpen, and the first hitter the bullpen faces is walked.
Kemp is 0 for 3. Flied out a couple of times. Take strike 1.
Power sinker at 94.
Now, when the Astros get something done, Tony Kemp's usually right in the middle of it. Oh, 0-2. Ottavino gave up a run in his last inning against the Dodgers. That fooled Tony a little bit. Looked like he backed off of it.
Tony thought it was going to run inside, but it just stayed on course on that inner third.
The 0-2. Struck him out.
Well, I Ottavino came back and totally redeemed himself.
Changed speeds in a big way. Big old breaking ball. Bregman walked in the first. He's since popped out and struck out looking. Last time up, he hit a ball about 10 feet foul with home run distance. He was caught looking on the very next pitch. Astros trying to snap an 8-game home losing streak. Scored only 24 runs during that 8-game skid. Bregman to left. Not going to get enough of it, just underneath it. May have been right off the end of the bat. He knows he just missed it too.
Yeah, the Astro hitters have got to be tired of being close and not actually squaring some of these up. And that's what we're accustomed to seeing them doing, is squaring these pitches up. But that bat head just getting a little too quick out in front of the zone. Nothing wrong with the swing, just too quick. That's the hardest thing as a hitter, is realizing that you take a decent swing, don't hit it right, you want to make an adjustment when all it is a timing factor.
Carlos Correa just 1 for 14 since coming off the disabled list. Takes ball 1. Carlos 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Carlos the opposite way, off the end of the bat again. And no problem for LeMahieu. That'll retire the side. We go to the 9th. Rockies lead 4-1.
It's to catch every moment this season. Get Astros home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Now defensive changes for the Astros. Marwin goes from second base to left field. Tucker moves to center. Tyler White's now, he stays in the game at first base. Yuli moves to second base. And the new pitcher is Will Harris. They'll face Ian Desmond, who hits in the 8-hole here in the 9th inning. 48th appearance for Will Harris. Wade Davis warming up for the Rockies, in there for a strike. Ian Desmond's been a much more dangerous hitter on the road than he has been in the mile-high air. When I looked at the lineup, I was a little surprised to not see Desmond in the lineup.
I think it's interesting that Desmond is in the lineup for a guy who couldn't get down a bunt. Not trying to read into too many things, but immediately when Valleca couldn't get the bunt down, he was out of the ball game.
He hits this one deep to left center field, looking up, and that ball is off the top of the wall. Bounces back towards the infield. At least 3 for Ian Desmond, and a leadoff triple in the 9th inning for the Rockies.
But I think that's to your point, because Desmond can swing it a little bit, and his road numbers are pretty good. Has experience in the National League, spending time with the Washington Nationals. Tried to cut that fastball inside. Desmond thought he got it, but you're also seeing Kyle Tucker play center field for the first time, and some of the quirks of center field kind of overran this one instead of playing that carom that we see Jake Marisnick do so well over the years.
It's the 4th extra base hit of the night for the Rockies. now have 10 hits in the game. Astros have been limited to just 1 hit. Make it 3 hits, I beg your pardon. 1 run on 3 hits. They have left 5. Tony Walters in the 9-hole. He had a big RBI double in the 7th inning. It's a good pitch on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Bouncer. Desmond's going to have to stay at third, and there's 1 away. Be huge to keep him at third base. I know you don't want to go to the 9th inning with down 3, but you certainly don't want to go to the 9th inning down 4.
Yeah, 3 runs right now for the Astros offense sounds hard enough as it is. 1 more run means that much more work.
A tough customer to deal with here, Charlie Blackmon. Astros have pitched him well, struck him out a couple of times. It's this one to center field. Tucker in, and he won't be able to get it. Desmond scores, and it's 5-1 Rockies.
It's a good pitch to try and get a sacrifice fly on, but got jammed just enough to put it in front of Kyle Tucker. Check out the jump of Kyle. At first, I was wondering if you might have an opportunity to maybe lay out and try and make a great play and turn it into a sac fly, but instead it's a base hit RBI for Charlie Blackmon.
He may have mishit it just well enough.
Yep.
Ball shot down the right side, gets away from Tyler White. He'll try to shuffle, and they get the out at first base. Will Harris covering, and they may look at this. LeMahieu's not going anywhere.
The rocket knocked down
Yes,
by Tyler White. They have chosen to challenge this one pretty quickly. Let's see if we can see why. Will Harris was there. Foot on the base, ball not in the glove. That will be overturned.
Now the ball was, it was a bullet.
Yeah.
And obviously it was, Tyler White was holding the runner. So he's 90 feet away on the receiving end of that, if not closer than that.
Showing it here on El Grande. Expect some reaction from the crowd, not the reaction you'd want.
Surprised this has taken as long as it has.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because we saw it pretty quickly with our guys getting our replay up. Really drive the point home on our Mattress Firm Supremo. The foot is on the bag right there. And again, it's just got to be in the back of that glove of Will Harris's. And he just did not get it.
So it's a single for DJ LeMahieu and runners at first and second. A run in here in the ninth. 12th hit of the night for the Rockies. Out hit the Astros 12-3. Carlos Gonzalez singled and scored in the 6th. Bats with 2 men on in the 9th. Brady Chase. And I said it earlier, it's worth repeating just because the Rockies are playing good baseball right now. Is that This is the 38th straight game against teams with winning records. We are 25-13 in those 38 games. It's the 39th consecutive.
It's a pretty impressive time to get hot, be playing well, and away from Coors. Well, they just finished up that series with LA and Colorado. They are carrying that with them here, even though it's only 5 runs, 12 hits.
And feeling good about themselves, too, about the way they walked it off on Saturday and Sunday against the Dodgers, and really felt like though they should have had a 4-game sweep had they not given one up. And the late innings, the bullpen hadn't given it up. Ball hit up the middle. Correa, he'll play it off a hop to the funky hop, gets the one there at third base. I think he was hoping for a true hop and a chance to hold the runners up. Looking to turn a double play, instead gets the one out.
Yeah, it almost backfired with as much spin was put on this baseball.
Well, the way he blew that bat up, you knew there was going to be some funk on the end of that. It was funky.
Luckily, they're able to get one out of it.
Nolan Arenado has struck the big blow in this game for the Colorado Rockies, the 2-run home run that gave the Rocks a 2-1 lead and have never looked back. Three balls and no strikes. Bases are loaded after a 4-pitch walk. It is a tough go right now for A.J. Hinch's ball club. They have, last time they won a home game, exactly 1 month ago, July 14th.
Yeah, I blame Jeff Bagwell. That was the last time we had him in the booth before this past Saturday. I'm kidding.
I know.
Can't put it on Baggy. Probably get a text here in the next couple minutes if he's still watching.
Good so far.
Yep. May have gotten away with one.
No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Rockies leading at 5-1 in the top of the 9th.
Ooh, not a bad pitch. Will Harris wanted it. Will Harris needed it. It would be nice to be 0-2 instead of 1-1. It was well located down and away.
Well received too by Max Stassi.
Well, here it is.
Got it?
Yep. Hello, Jeff.
Want to read it on the air?
No.
Okay.
But it was definitely directed towards me.
Ball and 2 strikes.
Miss you too, Baggy.
I'm just glad he realized who said it.
Right?
I want to get caught in your reckless wake. Able to hold up? He did not. Called for the appeal. First base umpire says yes, he did. Bottom of the 9th, 5-1 Rockies. By Toyota. Let's go places. And by Karbach Brewing. Crack open a cold one. Crack open a Karbach. Proudly brewed in Texas. 4 to tie, 5 to win. The Astros down 5-1 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Rockies bring on the veteran Wade Davis. 53rd appearance of the season. He's a save specialist. Not a save opportunity here, but he had the most opportunities of any closer in baseball.
Yeah, but it's amazing he has 32 saves with that 5.40 ERA, 53 strikeouts, and 48 in the third innings pitched. Also interesting to note that he leads the National League in saves and blown saves. So Bud Black giving him plenty of opportunities.
And it was Wade Davis who pitched in that game that the Astros won back on July 24th, 8-2, in which they scored 6 runs in the 10th inning. Davis gave up 5 earned runs in an inning and a third, had 4 hits. Also gave up the home run to George Springer, the 2-run shot. Faces Marwin to lead off the 9th. Astros with a Yuli triple, a Josh Reddick single, and a Marwin Gonzalez double in the 7th inning. That has been the offense tonight. 5-12-1 for the Rockies, 1-3-0 for the Astros.
Just saw the curveball. That was the last pitch, was a cut fastball. Wade Davis averaging 94 miles an hour on his fastball. He also has a changeup to go along with that curveball and cutter.
Marwin high in the air, just got under that one. And Charlie Blackmon squeezed the high fly ball, and there's 1 out in the 9th. Well, Davis came up as a Ray. Really got his reputation as that closer on that Kansas City Royals team. In 2016, went on to the Cubs for a year. 2015 for the Royals, when he really put together that outstanding season. On to the Cubs, and now with the Colorado Rockies. As Preston said earlier, part of $100 million spent on that bullpen. One ball and 1 strike. Yuli Gurriel scored the only run of the night on a triple and scored on an RBI single by Josh Reddick. Kind of sums up the evening with that swing.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments in this ball game where just things don't look right.
Astros trying to avoid their 9th consecutive home loss. In those 9 games, they have scored all of 25 runs, including the 1 run tonight. On the ground, Trevor Story. Easy throw across, 2 outs in the 9th. The Astros win 11-17 in 2017 in August. They fall in this one tonight, down 4 with 2 outs in the 9th. They will have lost 11 of their last 17. Garrett Cole gets the ball tomorrow for the Astros. Goes against Tyler Anderson. The Astros open that road trip in Oakland. It'll be Charlie Morton, Dallas Keuchel, and Justin Verlander on that 3-game set. A ball and a strike.
Well, that's the amazing thing, that is, even though the Astros are not playing good baseball right now, is that you feel when you throw out the names that you just threw out in a series, you know you have a chance going in. It's just a matter of getting the bats going, playing some good defense,
fouled back. Yeah, 4 straight games of sending out Cole, Keuchel, or Cole, Morton, Keuchel, and Verlander.
These guys are still taking the baseball every chance they have.
Astros still the only team in Major League Baseball that have used only 5 starters.
I mean, other than that blow up by Justin Verlander last time he was out, they've been relatively well pitched games getting deep.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Swing and a miss, just got a piece. Wasn't able to hold on. Reddick will get another chance. Marwin has a hit, Yuli a hit, and Josh Reddick with a hit. That's been the offense tonight for A.J. Hinch's club. Out hit 12-3, trailing 5-1. It's inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. And the Rockies win the opener of this 2-game series. The Astros dropped their 9th straight here at Minute Maid Park, fall to 73-47. Tough night for the offense tonight. The Rockies win it by a score of 5-1.